Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sidewinder Shed. Sunday morning on the back porch, having some coffee. It's May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, 2024. And yeah, this was an unannounced live stream just like it is every weekend. Yesterday, I didn't get a chance to do one. It's been raining yesterday and today. It actually stopped about 35 minutes ago when I decided to go live, so I might not be on here too long for a simple fact I do have stuff I have to do. Yesterday, between the raindrops and the rain that come through, it wasn't real heavy or anything. I did do a few projects that needed to be done that I wanted to do on Friday. I had Friday off. It was a gorgeous day, but the wife had Friday off also, and she asked me to take a quick trip with her to a yard sale. So 6 hours and 27 different stops later, we finally got home, and it was a little too hot, and I was wiped out, so I didn't do anything. Philip, good morning, sir. Good morning. I know you had stuff to do yesterday too. I saw your video. How you doing this morning, my friend? But yeah, so anyway, right now the wife's at work again. I'm unsupervised, so it was raining when I decided to do a live stream, and now it stopped. So, like I said, I don't know how long I'll be on here, but until I get the motivation to get my butt up and get outside and start doing stuff in the wet, damp, muddy backyard, I'm just going to sit here and yak for a few minutes. With that being said, I totally shut off. I know, I understand. But I did upload a short video this morning and showed what I've been up to all week and some of the stuff I did yesterday. Nothing major. Nothing major. Um, and I didn't film myself doing any of it because of the rain, trying to set anything up. It was just a pain. I felt doing okay trying to take the day off. I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, no, I understand that. I understand that. I was kind of planning on doing that yesterday myself, but um, instead I went out and did some stuff. And I got that tree that fell down there. I got most of that all burnt up and everything and cleaned. And that was before my fire pit turned into a swimming pool. So anyway, I'm glad I got that done. That helps out a lot. But yeah, it's supposed to rain here on and off basically all week, which is actually fine with me because the next big project that I have to get done this weekend is I have to till the backyard and smooth it out and everything so we can get the pool up. And right now that backyard it's like concrete. It's it is so hard. So I'm hoping that when it turns to mud, and I'll go out there and poke it and turn what I can over by hand with the spade and everything to loosen it up. So that next weekend when I get the tiller out there, it's not just bouncing around like it's driving on concrete. Yeah, that's right. You got what? You're less than 45 days because that was last week. So you got a little bit over a month left before you have to be out of there, don't you, Philip? That's right. I forgot about that. And I keep seeing you on your videos doing all these projects. So yeah, that's a lot of work you got to do, my friend, to clean that place up and get everything. I mean, I've moved before myself, and yeah, 40 days. Yeah, I hope that you're gonna have some help. I hope you're gonna have a bunch of help, bunch of people you can rely on to give you a hand. I really do. Um, it's one of the things. As much as I would like to move from where we're at, i.e., if I found a nice place, out in the country a little bit more, yeah, that's, me and the wife both would love to do that. But over the decades that we've lived here, trying to clean this place out, plus the half unfinished projects I got going on, I don't know if I would do it. I know I really wouldn't want to. Oh, okay, I gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, unfortunately, if I were to move, um, yeah, I can't help myself. I'm the type that would be taking everything, and the wife be sitting there going, "What? You've had that for 30 years, and we never used it. You don't need it. What are you going to do with it? Why are you taking it?" Well, hon, you should know this now. We've been together for a few decades, and anytime I throw something out because I haven't used it in years, within a month we need something, and I have to go out and buy it or find another one. So I kind of keep it a lot of stuff around, not because I'll ever use it, but it seems that the if I have two things that are the same, if I get rid of the extra one, the one I'm using is going to break down, die, whatever. But if I keep the extra one, that one I'm using is going to last, and I'll probably be able to give it to my grandkids. So I just keep it as a safety measure. Yeah, man, that'd be great. Yeah, yeah, come on in and take us on a tour, man. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of where you're at and everything, but and like I said, looks like you have a nice place, but I'd hate to have to. I really would. I would not look forward to packing everything up and moving. But that's just me too. I say that now, but if I found my dream house in my dream location, you never know. I might load everything up myself because I'd be happy to get there. All right, Philip. Good morning,
Yeah.
sir.
How are you?
Oh, I'm hanging in there, my friend. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, I was just thinking. But the last thought that I had was just my tool room alone is going to be a major undertaking because you know. In fact, there was a video survey on YouTube once about uh, show us your tool chest. And guys are
Yep.
showing these big, huge, giant tool chests. And I'm like, tool chest? Hell, I need a whole entire room.
I understand that. I
So,
mean,
but
yeah, if you've seen my
but
shed, I got tool
yeah,
chest. I got a tool wall.
yeah.
I got stuff laying all over the place. The shed is overflowing with different types of tools, and that's because of
Yep,
woodworking and automotive. I got, two sets for
yep, yep.
all
Same here.
sorts of stuff.
I'm just that way. I'm a jack of all trades and master of none.
Yep,
So
same
I've
here.
I've got to, and I believe in having the right tool for the right job. So I just got tools, buku. And when my wife was alive, that was one of the touchy subjects, you know. But I always won that argument because she'd be like, "Are you getting another tool?" And I'd be like, "Are you buying more jewelry?"
I gotcha.
She had more
I,
jewelry than any woman I ever saw, I swear. But not that I'm complaining.
oh,
If
I
it made
understand.
her happy, and tools made me happy. So,
Yep.
but yeah, let me kind of take you for a quick trip here. I don't know if I can flip the camera. I don't think I can flip the camera, but
Oh, yeah. It
we'll
took me a while
kind of
with.
shoot over my shoulder here, or maybe I'll
There you
just turn the camera around, kind of point it downward. This is just coming across the front porch. All this stuff. I got my welder, pressure washer, old tanks, sandblaster, extra gas. I got my, this is a radial arm saw that I got for sale. And of course, ramps and bucket full of tools.
Oh yeah.
There's a fireplace that I still have to sell. This is a wood planer.
Oh
I
my
need to
God.
sell.
Yep.
My extra air tank I made out of a propane tank and one air compressor. And then we come up to this secret wall.
Oh my, that's cool, man. I like that.
And come in here. There's another compressor. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Oh yeah.
Of
Yep.
course, chainsaws.
Oh
We start
yeah.
over here with the shelf that I built. It goes all along. And another, this is a little mini gang box that I would use. I don't know if you can see that or not
Oh yeah.
when
Yep.
I do job site stuff. And that's just it. A lot of my tools are set up so that they're portable. I have everything in carry cases and that kind of stuff and broke up that way. I don't have
Uh,
one big giant toolbox, you see, make
yep.
it so
Yep.
it's portable. And let me put this cigarette down real quick. Doorknob. Turn on this light. Okay. Well, I guess the light was on and the bulb's burned out. But I don't know if you can see the workbench too well. But
Yeah.
it's just like that, just tools scattered all the way across it.
Yep.
This bench was actually I got this from a tree and shrub nursery and plant nursery that was going out of business. This is a bench that they actually use for potting plants with.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. And then we go on over to here. I got a little belt sander machine here. I don't know if you can see that. And
Oh yeah.
stacks of toolboxes and of course straps. And then there's this big cabinet here. Let's see if you can see that.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's full of tools. This I keep my expensive tools in here and I keep it locked up.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Let's try to make it a little bit harder for the thieves.
Oh yeah.
And then
And
over here
family
we got,
members that come by to borrow your stuff while
yeah,
you're at work. Yep.
yeah, exactly. And then another old desk that's where I got my DeWalt chargers and all my batteries and keep drill bits and stuff like that down in the drawer. That kind of thing. And let me flip this around like this. And of course, a wall full of stuff.
Yep.
I got screwdrivers and work gloves and saw blades and even a bicycle seat, And this is all crown molding up here that I was supposed to put in the house and pipe insulation. And let's see if you can see this. This I got at a yard sale. This is a little Dremel press, kind of like a little mini drill
Oh,
press
no
thing.
kidding. No
And
kidding. That's
then what's
cool.
cool is it also comes with a little Dremel wand that you
Yep.
attach to the Dremel motor. You just attach it right here. You screw that onto the end of your Dremel, and then you got a little wand for doing a little Dremel work. I knew a guy that he used to do this. He used to get these big ostrich eggs, and he'd hollow them out, and then sit there and carve little designs on these ostrich eggs. And when he got done, about 90% of the egg would be all cut away with
Yep.
these like a scroll work kind of designs of flowers or landscape scenes carved right onto the egg. And when
Yeah.
I saw that, I thought that's something I'd like to try. And my mother was doing glass etchings with these little diamond bits that you put on the Dremels to sit
Yep.
there and draw little pictures on like drinking glasses and stuff like that. But let me see what else. And I got this big old bow saw
Oh
blade. I
man.
don't know
Yep.
if you can
Yep.
and this box here, this is a box. What's inside this cardboard box is a real nice wooden machinist tool chest.
Oh, okay.
If you've ever seen machinist tool, and my
Mhm.
wife wanted it because she wanted it to use as a jewelry box,
Box,
big old
yeah.
huge
Yep.
machinist tool box. She wanted to use as a jewelry box, and we bought it. and it just sat in the house. Had never been out of the box.
Oh my God.
She never did end up using it, so I still got that. And of course, since her passing, I've come out, moved it out here to the tool room. But there you have it. It's about, I think it's 20 feet long and 8 foot wide.
Oof.
And I just left the doorknob laying over here, so now I can't get out. But that's it. One thing I should point out to you is this is my anti-theft device. If you come out here, see, it just looks like a wall.
Yeah. Yep.
It just
Yeah,
looks
it
like a
does.
wall. You got
Yeah.
no idea that there's a door there.
I like
See,
that.
the
That is
idea
cool.
being, if you put a door there, the criminals know that's a door. They know they can get in that way.
Yep.
If you make it look like a wall, the thought of them going in that way doesn't occur to them. You see.
Right.
So,
Right.
but
Well, I mean, that is cool. I like
I
that.
just to show you, that's just a tool room alone. You know, I still got a house
Oh
full
yeah.
of stuff. It's a 3-bedroom house, and 2 of the 3 bedrooms are just packed full of stuff.
Oh
You know.
yeah.
Plus, I still got this. I got to finish up that Pontiac,
Yep.
and this engine stand and Chevy small block deal. I have the feeling that I'm just going to have to abandon that project. In fact, I've even advertised the engine for sale already. It's an engine and transmission, and yeah, that's the worst part, because I was kind of looking forward to doing just that. I haven't done an engine build in many years,
Yep.
and I kind of stumbled across this one. I did a series of videos on it about how I found it and bought it and brought it home, still not knowing whether or not it was 4-bolt main, but my suspicions were that it was, because I knew the old guy that had it. He passed away, and I got it from his widowed wife. And knowing what the old man did, I had the feeling it was a truck engine, which means it would most likely be a 4-bolt main. And it
Gotcha.
turns out that it is. It's a 30 over 350 with a 4-bolt. It's the block casting 3970010 block, which is a good. Those are some of the more preferred blocks. But it does have an oddball set of heads on it. It looks like he maybe cracked a head or two, and just put something on that would work, because they're a mixed match set of heads.
I got you.
But I wasn't planning on using the heads anyway. I was just gonna go get them Edelbrock RPM Performer RPM heads. I did another Chevy small block where I did just that. Edelbrock has a whole top end kit, where you get the heads and the intake manifold, and if you spend a little bit more money, they also send you a camshaft and all the valve train for it, the push rods and lifters and that kind of stuff. And you still got to buy rockers. You got to select your own rockers.
Yeah.
But the point is that at that time, it was only about like $1,700 for that kit, which is a bargain.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for $1,700, you can put a whole new top end on a short block assembly, And of course, you still need a carburetor and a distributor, but
yep.
Yeah. So that's that story.
Well,
how about you? How's everything going with you?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Still making a little progress on the to-do list. A little bit at a time and everything. And like I said, the big project that the wife is pushing me on right now is getting the pool set up. We had a pool. We had that pool for about 5 or 6 years, but it just it got old. So we got another one, pretty much the same type, above ground, 16-foot diameter. Nothing too crazy. But where the weather has been really bipolar here in Virginia, we're going from days that are in the 50s, then all of a sudden in the 80s, and then rain, and then sunshine and everything. But I will tell you what, it's a matter of fact, we had a couple days that were in the 90s, and That's too quick and too much of a jump. And
Yeah.
I'm usually not a big fan of the pool, but since I have so much outside work to do, and I really want to get it done, it's nice. You know, you're out here busting your butt. You get a little too hot, hop in the pool, and that's kind of what
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to doing. So yeah, next week, um, I want to have that thing up and running by well, get it all set up this
You
weekend,
know,
and then by next week
I,
have it usable.
I'd like to tell you this story real quick. This was 20 years ago when I first moved down here to Florida. Now, the reason why I came to this part of Florida was because my mother had already moved here. She moved here from Atlanta. She moved here in like the very first couple of months of 1996 is when she moved here. And I came down to visit her a couple of times and decided I was going to move down here and stay down here. You know, there was all kinds of construction going on at that time, and I knew I could get in on that. But here's the story that I want to tell you that when I first moved down here, I hadn't been here but a couple of months already. And my mother and her husband is the kind of guy that he's not afraid to do anything, but he doesn't have a whole lot of hands-on experience and skill with a lot
Right.
of things. And one of the projects that he wanted to take on was he wanted to put an in-ground lawn sprinkling system throughout the entire yard. Now, that's a rather big project for a fellow like
Yeah.
that to bite off. You know? But I told him I'd give him a hand with it, and I even showed him a better way to do things. You know, and one of the things we did is we built a manifold, and we had it all zoned off with a series of zone valves and everything, and plumbed the whole yard. And it was a big project, and I think I spent about a week on it. Uh, Most of it I did myself because they'd have to go to work, you know.
Yep.
And at that time, I was free to be able to do that. So I'm running trenchers and everything and doing all the layouts, you know. And but here's the point that my mother said to me. She says, if you get too hot, just go take a dip in the pool. And I'm like, okay, that sounds like a good idea. And sure enough, it gets to be the temperature gets to be about 95 degrees at noon. So I
Mm-hmm.
think I'm going to go take a dip in the pool. And I was already wearing shorts and a t-shirt doing the work anyway. So I'm just going to jump in the pool as is, which I did. But the pool didn't cool me off at all. I jumped in the pool and I
Oh.
noticed how warm the water was. I look at
Yep.
the temperature. That's that little bobber that floats in the pool that shows you what the temperature is,
Oh yeah.
and the water was 95 degrees too. You
Oh my
know,
God. Yeah. Now that's the
I'm like,
funny.
that's not. You're not getting cooled off at all. Now you're just wet. You know.
Yep. Yeah, that's the funny thing. That's the way my wife likes it. I'm like, sweetheart,
Yeah.
if you really like,
Yeah.
if you want a hot tub, okay,
Yeah.
I've passed up the option on 4 or 5 huge hot tubs. I'm
Yeah.
like, it honestly,
Yeah.
it'll cost about the same as the pool maintenance anyway. I said, if you want a friggin' hot tub, I said that'd be great because
Yeah.
I'd be out here in the wintertime. You know,
Yeah.
we'll build a little top over it so we can come out here in the wintertime.
Mhm.
No, no, no. The kids, grandkids
Yeah.
want a pool. I want a pool
Yeah.
and everything. I'm like, okay, we'll stick with the pool, but I'll tell you what, you're going to see me instead of getting in the pool when the water gets that warm, you're going to see me standing in the backyard with the hose, with the sprayer
Yeah.
over my head,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I and my mother, she had a hot tub as well as that in-ground pool. And down here in Florida, they have what they call Florida rooms, which is built onto the backside of your house, like out your back patio.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
just a big screened-in room, is what it is. It's all screened, except for hers actually had a metal roof, but it was
Oh,
screening all the way around, and had a
yep.
hot tub in there. But the point is that the hot tub was only being kept at between 100 and 105 degrees. But that's
Oh,
only 5 to 10 degrees
yeah.
warmer than the dang pool was. What's the sense in that?
Yep.
So,
Oh, I got you. Matter of fact, God, it had to be about 5. Oh, time goes by quick. It could have been about 10 years ago. I got a friend of mine that he repairs ice makers and rebuilds ice makers and everything, and they had one
Right.
at their house also. They had a huge industrial one because they do it, for companies
Yeah.
and everything for
Right.
business.
Yeah.
And we had a little Saturday cookout or something going on here, and yeah, it was around August time, and that pool, everybody was excited to get in the pool till they got in it, and it's kind of the same thing you're saying. The water's like 90 friggin' degrees,
Yeah.
and
It doesn't cool you off one
yeah,
bit.
everyone's like, man, this would be nice, come midnight or so on a fall day, this would be perfect. But this is the middle of
Mm.
August, man. I didn't know you could sweat while you're swimming, you know?
Right.
And so
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
and three of my friends, they went out and they took a pickup truck and they filled the back of it literally right to the top. So 8 feet long,
Mhm.
about 3 feet high, you know, and
Yeah.
about 5 feet wide, full of ice. And he backed it up to my gates. We couldn't get through the gate; the truck was too wide. But he backed it up to the gate to my backyard, and we took the two wheelbarrows, washed them out, filled them with ice, and we just had a chain. People
Yeah.
dumping the ice into the wheelbarrows. Somebody bringing the wheelbarrow
Right.
to the pool. Some and two other guys
Mhm.
dumping all that ice in the pool. You know what? It worked. It worked for about an hour or so. All the ice melted, but it did. It cooled that water
Mhm.
right down
That's
to
good.
about 70 degrees, and it made a big
Yeah.
difference. It made the
Yep.
wife wouldn't get
Yep.
into it with with the ice floating around, but everyone else. And I was like, man, that's a great idea.
That's
I love that.
well, down here on the beach. Even in the middle of the winter time, especially like you get you get snowbirds that come down here. They show up
Yep,
before the spring breakers do.
yep,
And you can always tell when the snowbirds are from the far north, because it might be only 45, 50 degrees out, but the ocean water's 65 and 70 degrees, and these
yep.
people are jumping in it like it's great. Of course, to a Floridian, that's too dang cold to be in the water.
Oh, I know.
But
My
these
my
northern people get a lot of Canadians come down here. They like the idea that it's not frozen.
Oh yeah. Well, originally I'm from Massachusetts, so I'm used to that 50
Mhm.
degree seawater in the middle of
Yeah,
August. Anyway, that
yeah,
water is just
yeah,
frigid, even in the middle of summer.
yeah.
And my brother, for over 25 years, lived down in the Orlando area. Okay,
Hmm.
Mashpee also. And yeah, in the wintertime, there was, like you were saying, not quite winter, but there's a few times in the fall and in the early spring we'd gone down to visit them. And as a little kid and everything, I'm like, oh my God, this is I like this seawater because it's warmer. I mean, the
Yeah,
air is cold. It was cool, but the
yeah.
water
But the
was so
water's
warm.
warm.
Yeah, the water was nice.
Yeah,
I was out there swimming. Yeah, and like you said, you had the native people down there. They're walking around. God, I even saw some with parkers on, and here I am out in
yeah.
the friggin' water in the ocean
Short
swimming.
skis.
Yeah,
Well,
short ski. Mm.
when the first time I came down here and visited my mother, she asked me, "What do you want to do?" And I'm like, "Well, just take me on a grand tour, show me around." I said, "I like to see the beach," because at that time I had never seen an ocean yet.
Oh,
So she's
okay.
like, "Go, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take you for this tour. You'll like this tour." And we went down to the city of Destin, and we started heading east towards the city of Panama City, Florida. Now, in between Destin and Panama City, there's a community called the 30A community. And the
Okay.
reason why they call it that is because it's like a road that runs along the shoreline, and that road is called 30A. And it's a nice area that nice homes, all beachfront kind of stuff. It's a high end community, and it's really nice. And you get about halfway across there, there is this restaurant that's like almost right on the beach, and we stopped there and had lunch and stuff. And at that point was my first time ever going and actually touching ocean water.
Oh, okay.
And that was in that was like well, I remember when I first came down to visit, I was visiting the week of from Christmas to New Year's. I was here for that week between Christmas and New Year's, And I was coming from Chicago, where at that time they were having like 20-degree temperatures.
Oh, yeah.
And down and the day that my mother and I went down that 38 community, I think the temperature was only like 55 degrees or whatever. But I stuck my hand in that water, and that water was like 70 degrees. The
Yep.
water was almost 20 degrees warmer than the dang air temperature was. And I felt like I wanted to climb right in the water.
Oh, yeah.
But you talking about cold water now, being a Midwesterner and being from Chicagoland area and been all up and down the Lake Michigan shoreline, all the way, from Racine and Kenosha, Wisconsin, all the way up through Milwaukee and Sheboygan, all the way up to Green Bay. That Lake Michigan water, even on the official start of summer, which is Memorial Day,
Yep.
and the beaches are full, that water's still only like 40 degrees, man.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like ice water, And Lake Superior is even worse. It's even, I mean, even in like June, you go to the farther northern points of Lake Superior, there's still ice in the water,
Oh, yeah.
Near the Canadian side. So, but
Oh, yeah. No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, like I said, the other thing I noticed between the beaches up in New England and the beaches down along the east coast of Florida, anyway,
yeah,
in New England, you get in the water. One, the water is cold, and you come out and you have it. It doesn't matter how much you try to clean yourself off in the water. You come out, you're covered in sand. You just literally
yeah,
covered in sand because the waves, they're all mixed by the time they get to the shore.
yeah,
They're
right.
mixed with the brine and the sand and everything they pick up.
Mm-hmm.
When the few beaches I went to in Florida, it was seashells, little tiny seashells. That's
Yeah,
I didn't really see a whole lot of sand. I thought
yeah.
it was sand until I'm starting to go, hey, these are seashells. Oh my god! And I'll take the seashells over the sand any day. I'll be honest with
Well,
you.
around here, first of all, the beaches here are really nice. In fact, they call this region the Emerald Coast because the water is this beautiful emerald green color, and just as clear can be. And
Yep.
you got white sand beaches because it's pure silica.
Yep.
So it's really picturesque and it's nice. But you're talking about seashells. See, many years ago, first of all, it's all sand around here. You can, if you started digging, you couldn't even strike rock. It's all sand. I did just that. I started digging a hole. I could only get about 6 feet deep before all the sand keeps collapsing back in
Yep.
on you. You don't. There's no dirt. There's no dirt. There's not even rocks. But with that being said, you go around to some of these streets around here because you don't have the kind of winters down here that the northern has. The road pavement lasts a good long time.
Oh
And it's
yeah.
not uncommon to find roads that were paved, post-war, because this is what they did when they did when they needed the aggregate for tar. Instead of having, because they'd have to have gravel shipped in from other
Yep.
states, via rail cars. Well, that was just too expensive, too time consuming. They just they would wash sand and collect the seashells. So they were
Yep.
using seashells as aggregate on the asphalt roads. And you can still see that. You can still find, these asphalt roads where they're using seashell for aggregate,
Yep.
you know?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. That sounds cool, man. That's you use what you have local. It makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. But that my God, yeah. Like I said, I've ever since a kid, we've traveled up and down the East Coast a whole lot. My folks are
Mm-hmm.
originally from the northern part of Maine, and I had a brother that he moved to Canada up to Nova Scotia before I was even born, and I had another brother that lived down in Florida for years. So traveling back and forth when I was younger, that was a common thing. That was a common thing, and my God, and then of course, my dad, when he was younger, this was before World War II, and before they put in the Interstate 95.
Yeah. I was just
He,
going to
he
ask you about that.
Yep, he used to run for a potato company up in Maine, Woodman Potato Company, and he drove a truck. As a matter of fact, he drove an old chain drive Mack,
Oh
and
yeah,
he'd run that. Yeah, he'd run that from Maine to Florida, follow the growing season both ways, up
well,
and down, and
yeah,
everything. And that would be on the old Route One, Route Three,
yeah,
all those old back roads and everything. Well, what we consider the back roads now.
yeah, yeah. What are back roads, right?
Yep.
Exactly. That's uh, there is an event that happens starting up here in Gadsden, Alabama. There's a road called Old 127, and it goes from Gadsden, Alabama, all the way up to Ohio. And along that road, every year they have what they call the world's longest yard sale. And it does just that. It starts in Alabama, goes through Tennessee, Kentucky, and all the way up to Ohio. So you got 4 states. And that's just it. That's the old highway that
Oh
before there
yeah.
were interstates. That was the main drag, 127. That's how you got from like Birmingham, Alabama to like Cleveland, Ohio or something, was
Yep.
that was the main drag. And and my wife and I, we'd hit that every now and then. Uh, one year she wanted to go and I just didn't feel like going. In fact, I had too much going on here to be able to take time off. So I told her, I said, well, go with your sister. She has these 2 sisters. I told her, I says, take your sister Sissy. And so she called Sissy and asked her, would you want to accompany her to do this? And somehow or another, the word leaked out to their other sister, Janie. And so here these women go off for a 4 or 5 day long weekend doing yard sales. And I had to, when my wife and I went, we had this pickup truck and I had a utility trailer and I attached it on the back just in case we found some. I wanted to make sure I had enough uh, carrying space, because you
Hmm.
just never know what you might find. You just got to have. Well, my point is this: I deliberately did not put that utility trailer on that truck when they went because I was afraid of what they might come back with. They come back with a whole truckload of stuff, but
I
but
know that
I guess
feeling.
they had a pretty good time. But they're sisters, so
Yep.
there was some otherwise unpleasant moments. So
Yeah, it's funny. Now the truck I had before my Dodge right now, I bought that.
mm,
I bought it basically brand new. It was an '89, but I bought it in January of '90. It was a leftover. Nobody
yeah, yeah,
wanted it really up in New England because
closing out stock.
yeah, and basically they'd been using it for hey, you want to test drive a truck, see what it's like?
Right,
Do you want to or a shop truck? Hey,
yeah,
uh, take the
demo
blue
model.
Ford. Yeah, take the blue Ford, run down, get the parts, do whatever you got to do. So it had like 300 miles on it when I bought it. But
Mhm.
everything was as if it was brand new, all warranty and everything like that, to include the financing. But yeah, I bought that brand new in 1990, and I had it for 27 years. Okay, a
Wow.
nice old truck, but finally, she got to the point where there were too many little things wrong with it,
Wow.
and I couldn't keep up with it, and I didn't have the time to fix it, or didn't have time or money at the time to fix it. And my point being was it was an old manual transmission. Now the wife can drive a standard, all right.
Mhm.
But again, I've mentioned before, the wife is almost 5'1". So in other words, she's actually 5 foot tall, but
Yeah, she tippy toeing the pedals, is what you're
y-
telling me.
yeah, she could not push the clutch all the way down to engage it because it had the starter cut out. So she couldn't start the
Right,
damn thing without pulling herself up on the seat,
right.
having a pillow behind her and everything, seat all the way forward,
Yeah.
and in order to push the clutch all the way in. So she didn't care too much for driving it. So, not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal to me. But I realized once I got the Dodge, which is an automatic, all right, even though she's short, and I mean, literally, when she's driving this thing, and I followed behind her, she loves driving it. but I fall behind her. You can see this little head, and over her head, you can see the top of the steering wheel. So it's kind of like she's
Yeah.
looking through the steering wheel to see where she's going.
It's like little old ladies. You see nothing but knuckles
Yep,
on the
yep,
top of the
that,
steering wheel, and a little head peering underneath the steering wheel. Yeah.
yep, that's it exactly. But my, but we're talking about yard sailing, is what they call it. Okay, what she
Yeah.
calls it, they call we're going to go yard
Yeah.
sailing. Well,
Yeah.
wasn't a big deal before when I had the Ford because if they found anything that they needed the truck for, I'd go with them. So I knew what was happening. Well, it was 3 or 4 times her and her sister-in-law or another one of her friends and everything, lifelong friends. Yeah, we're gonna use the truck and go yard sailing. They come back and I'm a truck driver by trade, and I've loaded trailers and I've loaded trucks and everything, and I've carried a lot of stuff in all my pickup trucks, and I know how to load them. I will tell you what, anytime I have a lot of stuff to carry, I'm bringing my wife and I'm bringing either her sister-in-law or one of her friends so that they can pack the truck. Because I will tell you what, you talk about playing Tetris in the back of a truck.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
they
a
didn't.
Jenga kind of thing, right?
Yeah, because they didn't have any rope. I didn't have any straps, but they loaded that truck, so everything was over the roof of the truck in the back,
Right.
and it was solid. It was not going
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Um, but of course, I was tasked with the duty to unload it, along with my brother-in-law. One of them was around. I have 3 brother-in-laws, and at the time, one
Right.
of them was always around. So we're sitting there and we're looking at this, going, "Oh my God." And she talks about me getting stuff. What do you need this for? What do you need that for? And I'm like, I'm looking at everything in the back of the truck, and I'm like, well, one, what is it? And two, why do we need it? Oh, somebody's gonna need it. I know somebody at work. I know this, that, and the other thing. I only paid 50 cents for it. I'm like, okay, all right. But yeah, I don't let her borrow the truck anymore to go yard sailing. I
You
don't let.
talking about that reminds me of when uh, when I would take that utility trailer and we go to that world's longest yard sale. We go up. We'd head straight for Chattanooga because my father had a house there as well. He had one in Illinois, and we'd go up there straight to you know straight to Chattanooga. But here's the thing: utility trailer that I had, it was a 5x10 utility trailer, but it had them small wheels on it. I think the rims on them were only like maybe 12-inch rims. They
I
might have
got
been 10-inch and a relatively small diameter tire. Now, I'm telling you that because of this, that when you start to get out of Birmingham, Alabama, and you start heading towards Chattanooga, Tennessee, you get on this interstate called Interstate 59.
you. Mm-hmm.
And that's about 2 hours worth of driving at 60 miles an hour. So, yeah, it's probably about 120 miles, 100, maybe more, maybe 130 miles from Birmingham to Chattanooga. And the problem with Interstate 59 is it's a nice road. They did a great job of building it, but it's concrete the whole way.
Oh yeah.
And
Yep.
they've got an expansion joint about every 40 feet of concrete.
Yep.
And so as you're going down that highway at 60 or 65 miles an hour, it's like bump, bump, bump,
Yep.
bump, bump like this. And that utility trailer with them little tires, that utility trailer was in the air more than it was on the pavement.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yep.
when it was empty and it's just a flat utility trailer, it's not covered. Every time it hit a bump, one of those expansion joints with them little tires, it would go airborne. And it
Yep.
would come back down onto the ground just in time to hit the next expansion joint, which launched it in the air. And that utility trailer just be back there bouncing and bouncing away. I told my wife, I says, we just might lose that trailer.
Yep.
And here's the funny part about it. I did lose it, but here's the thing. We got all the way into Chattanooga and we're just west of Chattanooga going up the old 127. And we come to this open field and we're there was just dozens of people set up with their little stands, selling stuff. And there was plenty enough room in this open field to stop and park. You saw all kinds of cars and stuff in there. So I go to pull in, and there was like this little gully. It's only about, just a little ditch. It couldn't have been but a foot deep. And the truck went through that little ditch, no problem. But the trailer got hung up, and that's when that trailer popped right off.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And it broke the hitch and everything. So in other words, for that 2.5 hours of that trailer constantly getting pounded, it had gotten that thing so weak that it only was going to take one more bump and it was coming off. And I'm glad that it happened in this field where I'm only doing 10 miles an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here was a funny thing. So I'm looking at it. Now, I always make it a point to pack my tools with me whenever I go on a road trip, because you just never know what's going to break, what you're going to have to fix. So you keep tools on hand,
Oh, yeah.
So I keep a big tool bag on me. And so now here the trailer is busted off the truck. And I was going to need new trailer hitch and some nuts and bolts and this kind of stuff, new chains, which I was able to find right there in that little field, because there's, like I said, there was dozens and dozens of people out there selling all kinds of stuff. There was a fellow there that had an extra trailer hitch. He had chains, he had nuts and bolts, I was able to fix it right there in that field. So.
Awesome. Yeah, I got you. I mean, it's again, that's one of the reasonings going through my mind why I'm when I put this new engine, swap the engines out in my truck. Basically, I'm going back to old analog, going back to the carburetor. I'm getting rid of the computer in the truck. That opens up a whole lot of options for me, and going back to the mechanical fuel pump as well, instead of just having the electric fuel pump. Because when I got the camper on the truck, one, I can't get to the fuel pump without dropping the tank, and I don't want to do that in the middle of the woods somewhere.
Right. Right.
Even if I lose both fuel pumps for whatever reason with the carburetor, I can always jury rig a gas can to gravity feed. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. There's only so many things that can go wrong with the old analog engines. It's all mechanical. And there's always a way to jury rig it enough so you can get out of the situation that you're in and get somewhere where you can actually fix it properly. Now I'm on my third fuel pump, and I'm on my second computer on that truck.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is when they both went out, separate times, but when each one went out, I was stuck. There was nothing I could do to jury rig it to get me out of the area. And both times I was not in a good area or a good time of night to be broke down. And there was nothing I could do. There was nothing I could do.
This has been a topic that me and others of my buddies have had, that we know that, like with these modern day vehicles, if there's ever a situation where there's a major EMP, and I think you know what I mean by that, those vehicles won't run.
Nope.
Anything made before 1985 will still run. All you got to do is go find yourself another ignition coil, and they'll fire up and go. This new stuff, they won't. They'll be just DOA. It will be absolutely useless, because there's going to be so much electronics in the thing, that controls the things, that there's just no way you'll be able to make them run.
Oh yeah.
There's another guy that I follow on YouTube. He's a Chrysler mechanic, and he's an ASE certified Chrysler mechanic, and he's always going to these seminars and these retraining schools that manufacturer puts on. And like the latest thing, he was talking about these new engines that are coming out that don't even have a dipstick on them. And the idea behind that is that there are so many electronic sensors throughout the engine that, it'll tell you when you need to add oil. And in fact, the engines are so sensitive that if you put the wrong type of oil in it, you'll screw up the engine. Because the sensor's that sensitive. Now, my point is this: one EMT and that big old huge SUV that you've got, that brand new SUV, isn't going to be any damn good. You know.
Oh yeah. It's
So
funny, and not to sound like a tinfoil hat type person, and I'm really
right.
not a prepper. I just like to be prepared, but I'm
Yeah.
not a huge prepper. But
Yeah.
for just for myself in my shed, I have my work area in the shed, and then I have what we
Yeah.
call the man room, which is basically for storage right now, and that's where my
Right.
brother-in-law has some of his workout equipment. But believe it or not, that
Hmm.
whole man room, when I built it, it's actually a Faraday cage. So once you walk inside the man room, it itself is a Faraday cage.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
also, where I keep a spare starter, uh, coils, alternators, and stuff, basically all my electronic equipment for vehicles, it goes in that room anyway, just right now because it's simple and it's a nice, I got a place to store everything. But
Yeah.
I also have another Faraday cage where I do keep the coils, ignition modules, and all that
Right.
sensitive
Yep.
stuff in its own
Yep.
Faraday cage inside another Faraday cage. But
Just
you never know because it doesn't even have to be anything other than a sunspot. The sun
I was
itself.
at exactly. I don't remember where I was. I think it was either a resale store or maybe it was an auction or a yard sale. But I came across an old roll of this brass screening because they used to use brass screens, on the
Yep.
screen doors. And there's a whole roll of it, and the thing looked like it had been sitting stuck in the back of a barn for the last 50 years or better. And I bought it, and I think I only paid like $3 for the whole roll, but that was exactly the purpose. I'm like, well, this is good old fashioned brass screening. I can
Yep.
make a Faraday cage out of this.
Exactly.
So, and you make one about the size of a window air conditioner, and you do just that. You put ignition coils in it, and or
Yep.
any other sensitive electronics that you want to still work, like uh, well, I have, like, for instance, I have an old analog volt ohm meter, and multi-tester. That'll be fine, but like my digital stuff, it would get wiped out. So.
Yep.
And just like that big metal cabinet that I showed you in there, it wouldn't be a bad idea to make a Faraday cage inside that, on one of the shelves to
Oh
do
yeah.
just that, to keep all that stuff. But uh, that's all kind of a moot point now because uh, things are going along pretty good with this sale, and I need to be focused on trying to get rid of a lot of stuff, not creating more of it.
Ah,
So,
I
but
gotcha. Hey, my cousin Mike's cooking studio, he just showed up and he said, and then
they,
the aliens landed and infiltrated every facet of life. I think they did that 50
yeah,
years ago, Mike.
yeah, they've been here. They've
Yeah.
been here. But hey, listen, did you ever forward that short video on to him for him to see about the iron skillet that I had?
No, I did not forward it. No, I am
Maybe we
sorry.
should just ask him. Ask Mike
Yeah.
if he's seen that video yet, because I kind of made it for the two of you.
Yeah,
But
I saw that. I saw that. Yeah, I forgot. I actually watched it
yeah,
first about 3 o'clock in the morning, and yeah, I wasn't thinking about much other than, hey, this is pretty cool. But
yeah,
yeah, Mike, did
yeah.
you get a chance to see Philip's uh Philip's video that he put out about his 17-inch, I'm sorry, 17
Yeah,
inch
17
skillet?
inch iron skillet. Uh, and here's another thing I'm going to have to do because I'm gonna like I said, I'm gonna have to move. And I'm planning on having a yard sale or an estate sale or something, and I got to get out all my cast iron stuff, and I just have to sell it because to tote around, a kitchen full of cast iron and not knowing exactly where I'm going yet just doesn't seem to make sense. So I'm going to have to sell it all. And
Ooh.
someone's going to get themselves a great deal on some high quality Lodge brand cast iron.
Oh, I
So
gotcha.
So
I
yeah,
got
that's one of the things I'm going to have a hard time parting with.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. That tool room, I don't want to part with any of it. But the only thing I could do is find some other place where I can build another shed and move everything from my tool room into a shed,
I
and then I'd
gotcha.
still have to have it environmentally controlled. So there he is.
Hey, Mike.
No, I didn't get the chance to watch. I never seen that. I saw the one where you were seasoning mine with that looked like a deodorant stick.
Oh yeah,
I
that
saw that one. Yeah.
yeah that oh my god, and I forgot what it was called, and I have it right in the other room too.
Did you get
But
that recipe I challenged you with?
yes, I saw that. I just
I'm gonna do mine tonight. So
okay.
whenever you want to do yours, and I'm just gonna do all the prepping a little bit for it. So and yeah, it's a good recipe. I've made it before, but it's a good challenge for the skill. It's recommended to do it in a cast iron skillet. Well, the one I had, but it's not. This one's a lot. The one you sent me is bigger, so
Yep.
everything's gonna fit better. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah. Well, we have to go food shopping this week, and I'm gonna make a list of everything I need, and I might, if I don't knock it out during the week this week, I
right,
will get to it probably next week. I
right.
said, but yeah. Oh yeah, it sounds interesting, man. It sounds good.
It's good. It is really good, and like I'll take some shortcuts. As for the pork itself, you can use sausages, and I take the casings off. That's
Yep.
what I'm gonna do. Sweet Italian sausage. But if you can find
Yep.
bulk pork, like a pound of bulk pork, that's fine too.
I got a
Yeah.
whole deep freezer full of pork.
And
That
if you don't like pork, you can use another kind of beef like
mhm.
turkey, but it's better with pork. And
Yep.
as far as Brussels sprouts, if you gotta like Brussels sprouts, and then another ingredient is cream of mushroom soup. I think there's already mushrooms in it. Going to be mushrooms in it. I use like a cream of asparagus or broccoli
Oh,
for the
okay.
flavor. Yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
I gotcha.
Yeah, I like
so
doing a lot of cooking myself,
it's a
and
great recipe. You finish it up in the oven. It's great. I mean, you can't beat it except you use those French fried onions. Those
Yep.
are good. Uh,
yeah, I'll have to
you do
look
a lot
into
of
that. I'm always interested in looking at recipes,
Well,
and trying them out. In fact, this morning I was going to try one that I saw on YouTube with cinnamon rolls,
oh, okay.
and I was going to make that this morning, and it just slipped my mind. It started getting busy out here. In fact, I need to get off here. I've been on here almost an hour now. I need to get off here and get busy, before it gets too hot. So
Oh, I understand that. I
where's
understand
where you
that.
guys both in? Is Philip in Virginia?
No, he's in
no,
Florida.
I'm in
Florida.
Florida.
Oh wow. Must be
Yeah.
warm down there.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. We're already to that point to where it gets too hot in the afternoon to do any work. So you got to try to get all your work done in the morning
What
because
part
it'll
of
get too
Florida?
hot. Northwest Florida, up in the Panhandle part, not that
Oh,
far
okay.
from Pensacola.
Oh, all right.
So
So you're in the Gulf Coast then, huh? No,
yeah, the
that's
northern Gulf Coast.
yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
My kids live.
It is nice.
I got two kids
The
living up
nice
in
part
Palm.
about this,
I have
I'm
two
sorry.
kids living
The
up in
nice
Palm.
part about,
Go ahead.
ahead.
I said I got two kids live in Palm Bay area. The
Uh-huh.
yeah, Melbourne, yeah, Florida.
Melbourne down that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nice part about this part of Florida is it doesn't have all that craziness that you see going on downstate.
Mhm.
Areas like Kissimmee, St. Cloud,
Yeah.
Orlando, Tampa, Daytona Beach, Cocoa Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Naples. That's all. It's all a bunch of craziness going on down there,
Right.
And no, I'm just not interested in that. In fact, I got another buddy that lives down just south of Tampa, near Bradenton. In fact, In fact, he's one of the active members at that track down there, that drag strip that has the. They also got a place next door. Oh gosh, I'm at a loss for all the names, but it's the Bradenton area, and it's the Bradenton racetrack. And there's another track next door called like Track America or something like that,
Right.
where another big time YouTuber does all his stuff there. You know, a big
Right.
car guy YouTuber. I can't remember his name either, but he's one of those guys you just can't avoid seeing. He's on
Right.
YouTube's and other social media. He's on television. You know, he's just one of these big car guy kind of guys. You know,
I got you.
big celebrity, and he's made so much money off of this social media because he's got, you know, tens of millions of followers and likes, and that he gets all this sponsorship. The guy's paid tens of millions of dollars a year just for his content. The guy's even got his own private helicopter now, and he spends money on car projects like nobody's business. Got himself a big, huge shop and all that. You know, he's one of these guys that's really got the monetization of social media figured out. You know. But getting back to this friend that I was talking about, and he runs, he's one of the members that operates that Bradenton drag strip. And he invited me to come down there, you know, because he knew I was moving. And even though I appreciate the invitation, I don't think I want to be down there and all that craziness. I'd rather just I'll find some little town in Alabama or something, you know, and just kind of sit and chill because I don't need all that no more, you know. So.
I got you, man.
But listen, I'm going to have to go ahead and get off of here. And I'm just going to have to talk to you guys later. I got to get busy and do something here. All right.
All right, buddy. Well, you have yourself a good day. Matter of fact, the sun is poking out here.
Exactly where I'm going. It just doesn't seem to make sense. So I'm going to have to sell it all, you know. And someone's going to get themselves a great deal on
hold on
high
a
quality
second.
Lodge brand cast iron, you know.
Hold on a second, Mike. I got you. Yeah, Mike, you're running in the background again, just like last week. You got a program running in there. But Philip, go ahead, buddy. I'll let you go. You have yourself a good day.
All right.
And we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Kind of give you an update if you're interested. So.
Yeah, that'd be cool,
right?
man. That'd be cool. You take care, buddy.
We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Mike, you're still here, buddy.
Yeah, I'm okay now. I think I opened up a window.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yep.
Yeah. I opened up another YouTube window because I wanted to check my subscribers. I'm down another. I had 247. Now I'm down to 244. I don't know. They don't show you who leaves. They don't even show you who comes. You know, who subscribes. I mean,
I don't know, man. You know,
I'm never gonna make it to 1,000. I mean, I don't care. So.
Well, I need 5 more subscribers, and I'll hit 500. That's halfway there.
Wow.
So yeah, it surprised me too. But that's pretty cool. And I'm trying to think. You know, hey, what kind of video should I go out there? You know, and put out to when I hit 500. You know, to me, that's a halfway. That's a bit of a milestone.
Has Carolyn been in today?
No, haven't heard from her yet.
Yeah.
No, but she might be busy doing her yard work, which you know, in a few minutes here, Mike, I'm probably going to have to shut this down because the sun come out, and I got stuff I really should get going on out in the yard too. When I started this, when I first decided to go online, do a live stream this morning, it was raining out. When I got it set up to do the live stream, it stopped raining, and now the sun is starting to poke out.
What time did you start?
Oh, what about 9:30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the sun's trying to come out here up in Cape Cod, but I mean, it's still not warming up enough for me, you know, to go out on like my mobility scooter.
Oh, I got you.
It's chill. There's still a chill in the air, especially when the wind picks up, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, temperature down here is
I won't
nice.
be happy till it like hit 60 or 70. You know, the
Oh,
sun's out.
we pretty much been running those temperatures and past them for the
Yeah,
last 2 weeks.
yeah,
Friday, about 3 o'clock, it got miserably hot.
right,
And, we've had a few days that we're actually hitting the 90s and
right.
everything. And, that's one of the little projects I want to start get going on here today too, is finishing up, the little bit of the fence
Right.
that I got down by the pool area, and, cleaning up the yard so that next week I can put the pool in. Because like I said, we've had a few days now that've been in the 80s and 90s, and it's just been, of course, in Virginia it's humid
Right.
too, so it's been kind of miserable to be outside doing anything. And when it gets that hot, I'm not big on the pool, but when it does get that hot, it gives me a little bit of motivation to go outside, do what I have to do outside, because I can throw my shorts on, hop in the pool, cool off, and then get back to work.
What kind of pool is it? It's not one of those inflatables, is it?
No, no, it's the old metal, got the metal frame and then
Right.
the liner
Okay.
that goes in. It's 16. It's not real big. It's about 4 feet deep
Yeah.
and 16 feet in diameter.
And a
You know.
filter?
Oh yeah, yeah. I got a filter that I modified. It came from a huge pool,
Yeah.
and it's a sand filter and the pump and everything. And I modified them to work on these, because this will be the third, you know, of the same type of pool
Right.
I've had. This will be a third one that we've had that it's the same type.
You don't use you don't use chlorine, do you?
Oh yeah,
Oh, you
yeah,
do?
yeah, yeah. I haven't gone. A lot of people down here they have switched over to what they call a sea salt
Yeah.
type filter and everything. I
Right.
haven't done that. They say it's a lot less maintenance and everything, but I don't know. I haven't really checked into it that much.
There's
Usually
some
the
there's
wife.
something else my ex in laws used to use. It's called Bacquacil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Instead of
Yep.
chlorine, yeah.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Well, that a lot of that is also for what do you call it? Oh, the stuff that likes to grow in there as
Right.
well. And yeah, every now and then we'll add some of that to it. We'll add some
Right.
of that to it. Usually the wife and my brother-in-law, her brother John, take care of all the chemicals and everything that goes into
Right.
the pool, because they got the little test kit and they'll figure out the pH balance and everything
Right.
and what it needs. And I just keep the pump and the filter going, and I do the backwash
Right.
on the filter and all that stuff.
Right.
Because
That's good.
yeah, and of course I also pay for all the supplies as well.
Nice to hop in on hot day, and cool off.
Oh yeah, it is. But I'll tell you what, get around mid to late August, if we've had a lot of hot days, this is when the wife loves it, because it's like a friggin' hot tub.
Right.
That's not what I'm looking for. Matter of fact, I've done it a few times. I've been out there working, tried to hop in the pool, and I'm like, I didn't know I could sweat while I was in water.
Right.
The way it's just so damn warm. I've gotten out and I've just taken the damn hose with the squirt, with the sprayer, let all the hot water come out the hose, and I've soaked myself down with the hose because that was more refreshing. Matter of fact, I think it might have been about 10 years ago. I was telling Philip this story. We had a weekend get together, big 2-day cookout and everything. A lot of people here, and everyone was excited to get in the pool and everything. Got in that pool, that water had to be 90, 95 friggin' degrees.
Uh-uh.
And one of my friends, Sean, at the time, him and his dad, they took care of ice makers. That was
Right.
business and everything. And they had a huge one at their house, as well as access to any ice that they wanted.
Right.
Well, he took a pickup truck, and them and 3 other friends of mine went and they filled the back of the pickup truck
Right.
full of ice. I mean, loaded right, full of ice. And we backed it up to the back gates of the, to the gate of the backyard. We couldn't get it through the gate.
Right.
And I had, at the time, I had 3 wheelbarrows. We washed them out and we had a line. And 2 people shoveling the ice out of the back of the truck into the wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
And I think there was 4 people that were unloading the wheelbarrows when they got to the pool, just shoveling the ice into the pool.
Wow.
And man, I'll tell you what, it brought that temperature right down to 70 degrees.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, that was comfortable then.
Yeah.
That was comfortable then. And everybody, well, except for the wife, she didn't care for it that cold.
Right.
But yeah, everyone was swimming. It was funny. I wish I still had the pictures because you could see us all in there, pool full of ice.
When I was married, we went to Florida. We went to Florida a few times, and with the in-laws, you know. And we had a timeshare down in Sarasota, Florida.
I gotcha. Yep.
It's nearby Bradenton and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I was on the Gulf Coast, the Sarasota Sands Motel. Nice place. Nice outdoor pool. But the thing is, you know, and they wouldn't shut it off because it's a heated pool.
Oh.
I mean, why do you need a heated pool in Florida?
Yeah.
You want to go in and cool off, not take a bath.
Yep. Yeah, I got you.
I mentioned that to like the lady at the I go, so there's no way they can turn the heat up? No, the heated pool.
Oh.
It was warm too, you know. You didn't enjoy jumping in because it was warm, you know.
Yep.
And it was warm down there the time we went, like at least in humidity, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, we got through it, but I mean, just you think you enjoy going down to the pool because it's nice and cool, especially down in Florida.
Yep. No.
No.
I gotcha, man. You know, my brother Tommy. Now that's where he lived. He lived down in Bradenton and Mashpee and all that area for years. Down.
Right.
Yep. My God, that's yeah. Like I said, that's where he lived. When we went down,
even the ocean water. We were near a beach. You could walk over to the beach from the hotel.
Yep.
Even the ocean water in the Gulf Coast is like 80, 85 degrees, you know? So you're not getting cooled up in the ocean.
Oh, I know it. Like I said, we went down there a few times, and I remember going down. I can't remember if it was late fall or early spring, and as kids, we were swimming in the ocean, and we're like, oh my God, this water is like bath water. You know,
Right.
I mean, up Cape Cod, you go to Nantasket Beach, even in the middle of August, that water's like 50 friggin' degrees.
I know, it's ice cold. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, here we are, and I think when we
used to go down to Hyannis when we were kids, right?
Yep.
JFK Beach. I don't know if it's still that. When the low tide, you could walk like out.
Oh yeah.
Good. And it was but it was ice cold. The water. Oh.
Yep. Yeah, I remember going to a few of those beaches down there because we had, the folks had a trailer at the campground, Ellis Haven, and when we'd go to the beach and everything too. I remember when it was low tide,
right?
I could handle, the pools. You'd always have these little pools that didn't fully drain, and some of them were pretty deep too.
Right.
And I used to like going out in the pools because after a little while, that water would warm up a little bit, at least so that you didn't turn blue.
Right.
And
I still can't get the microphone working on the laptop.
Yeah.
There's definitely something broken in there, wire. So.
I got you. Well, you sound good now with whatever microphone.
Yeah, this headphone. Yeah. Thank goodness it's got a built-in microphone. So.
Yep. Yeah, I had one like that for a while, but I kind of like the boom here a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna go too. I'm gonna make some. It's Cinco de Mayo today. I'm
yep.
gonna make. I'm gonna make some guacamole in my Vitamix.
Oh,
And,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Philip just popped in. He said the fellow he was talking about in Bradenton, his last name is McFarland.
It's falling, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. But anyway, yeah. Check out his
I'll be.
video,
Yeah, I'll check his channel out. Philip.
Philip the Third. I'll send you a
Philip
link.
the third. Yeah. I I'm gonna record the video of the making that casserole.
Okay.
So I'll let you. You'll probably get the notification. I'll
Yep.
give you a shout out in it. So
All right,
yeah.
man. I appreciate it.
So you got the recipe, right? How I posted
Yep.
it?
Yes,
That's
I do.
exactly how I do it. I mean, I've done it before. I think I still have a video up, but back in about 5 months ago,
Okay.
I did it. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cool, man. Yeah, I'll watch yours, see how you
Okay.
do it,
Yeah.
and then I'll do
I
I
mean,
don't
you can do
I
yours. You can do it any way you want. I mean, I'm going to use the cast iron skillet,
yep.
but like for the oven, you can probably put it yours out in your outdoor grill as an oven if you wanted to. I mean, you could probably do the whole thing out on your grill with the cast iron, with your gas flame there, and uh, I just can't do it on a grill. So, but
I got you. Well, I was kind of thinking that, Mike. I might do the stovetop part on my wood stove
right,
and do the oven part on the
yeah,
grill.
yeah.
I might do it that way.
I'll tell you, you're gonna like the recipe. I mean, it's really good.
Yeah, it sounded good, man. It sounded good. Oh,
Mm.
Philip the Third goes, I'm the most least interesting man in the world. No,
Uh,
you're not, Philip. It was good talking to you, man. I enjoyed it. And One-Eyed Cat just popped on too. Good morning, sir. Good morning to you. But yeah, Mike, I'm gonna let you go, buddy, because like I said,
okay,
the sun has popped out here. It stopped raining, and I want to get some stuff prepped and ready, so I can get that pool up next weekend. So
okay,
I'm gonna shut this down.
all right.
One-Eyed Cat, Philip, you all have yourselves a good day.
Yeah, say
Uh,
bye, bye, Philip. Yeah,
and yeah, check out Philip's channel.
yeah.
And
I'll subscribe to it. Yeah, thanks.
yep.
Bye, bye.
All right, buddy. We'll catch you
Bye.
all later. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. Um,
See.
I'm gonna end this now, and y'all take care. And I'll try and catch Kim Bear Rose Garage tonight too, if I can stay awake, if I don't wear myself out too much. But we'll catch you all next time. It was nice seeing you, One-Eyed Cat. Oh my God, yes. The commercials for the most interesting man in the world. Yeah, before they sent him off to Mars. Yep, I remember him. Yep. All right, guys, y'all take care.